Hey everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at how the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2 bike rack fits on the 2024 Subaru Outback. So the owners of this vehicle actually got a hitch and bought this bike rack, and I think it's a great fit. The Destination 2 is what I always recommend to people starting out cycling and need to carry around their bikes, because it's a very reasonably priced bike rack, but the functionality is amazing. Very versatile, fits bikes of different shapes and sizes. Now we are going to focus on how it fits here on our Outback today, so stick around. There are 3 touch points on this bike rack that secure the bike. So 1 and 2 are going to be the wheel straps. And because of this wing design, this can fit bikes of different shapes and sizes. This is one of the few bikes that fits even your smaller kids' bikes. Now, the 3rd touch point is going to be this frame mount. And I really like the design of this frame mount, where it can rotate pretty much 360 degrees in order to secure your bike at different points on its frame. So even if you have a step-through frame bike, doesn't matter, because it just all secures down here or down by the seat post tube. So we're going to take our bike off today, and we're going to start by removing the wheel straps. It's simply a matter of pressing that lever, and then you can lift that strap up and out. And I like to just swing them out of the way so they don't get caught up in the spokes. Notice that the straps also have a rubber pad on them. That way it just really gives that extra grip on the bike without scratching things up. Now we're going to take our bike off. So this is going to be the final and trickier step for people that aren't used to this design. I like to hold the bike with an elbow as I press that lever with the other hand, and then I remove the strap. That way, when the bike is fully released, you are supporting it so it doesn't tip towards your Outback. With that out of the way, we can just slide it on over and then bring it over this frame. And now we are good to ride. Since this bike rack has a maximum weight capacity of 35 pounds per bike, that's going to be fit for most road bikes and mountain bikes. If you have an extra heavy electric bike though, this might not be the best fit for you. I would recommend looking at a beefier bike rack. This really focuses on being compact and versatile. So just pros and cons with every rack. Now our bike is off, and this is actually when we would be able to open up our hatch if we needed to grab anything from inside. Even with that mast in the upright position, we still clear, hatch opens, and we can grab, let's say, our helmets, our bags. If you're the type of person that likes to switch out your shoes, this is the time to do so. Now, some other bike racks in the more premium segment actually tilt away with the bikes loaded. That's not really something you can get with the Destination 2. So just remember that whenever you need to get into your storage area. So I talked about how the hatch opens even with the mast upright. So let's take a close look at how the mast does that. So this is going to be a part that pivots up and down. This is currently secured with our stabilizing piece here. So this is actually something that a lot of people tend to forget, but it's a really important part for making sure that your bikes are secured. See how that has an opening there? This fits into your mast, and then you tighten down the knob. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take this down so that we can pivot the mast down. And in order to hold this in position, I just grab one of these straps, whether it's the wheel strap or the frame mount strap, and that will go around the mast and tighten down, and that way it no longer pushes up and down. So see how that secures it now? Now this won't go anywhere. Throughout this video, I keep talking about how this bike rack is compact. So what does that actually mean? Well, if you take a measurement from your bumper to the end of the rack, this only sits at 22 inches, which is actually really short for a 2-bike platform rack. This is awesome because if you have, let's say, a small garage or need to park into a tight spot, this is not going to take up as much room as some other racks, although when your bikes are on there, there's that added length too. Now another thing a lot of people look at is ground clearance. So notice how this rack angles downward on each end. That's to add versatility for different types of bikes, but it also means that it sits a little lower compared to some racks. So measuring at the end of the rack to the ground, this is 16 inches. Center of the rack to the ground, 21 inches. Compare that to the inside edge of your hitch, which is about 12 inches off the ground. So you still have plenty of ground clearance. If you're going over a speed bump or over a pothole, chances of bottoming out are very little. And when you get your bikes on there, you also don't want your rack too high up, because then that's a lot of height you have to lift. This sits at a really sweet medium for height and lowness, where it's still really easy to use. And that is because of the location of the hitch. So again, if you don't yet have a hitch receiver on your Outback, you can actually find a custom fit one right here at eTrailer, which is what the owner of this vehicle did. And if you want to adjust your bike rack to the upright position, you can actually pull this clip at the end and turn this knob over here. And once you have this removed or unthreaded, you'll then be able to pivot the whole rack up. This very easily lifts into the upright position. Just remember to put that bolt and that clip right back in. Now this is an important piece of the rack. If you notice that there might be a fair bit of movement of your bike rack, always double check this bolt here, make sure that's tightened down, and also check the bolt right there in your hitch receiver. That tightens down and creates that anti-rattle effect, where when you shake the bike rack, the car shakes at this point. And that's gonna be tightened down with the included wrench, or you can use one of your own 3/4 inch ratchet wrenches. Makes it a lot faster that way. And this is what your bike rack looks like in that upright position. This is what everyone else will see behind you. Full visibility of your rear window, your taillights, your license plate, and even your backup camera. Something that's very rare for, again, 2 bike platform racks. So you can see how low profile this all is. This is designed to stay on your vehicle pretty much full time if you want. The one downside this does have is that you will not be able to open up your hatch door with a folded up position. So follow my tips and tricks for removing that bolt and clip and making sure things are tightened down if you want full-time access to your hatch. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have a Subaru Outback and you're considering a bike rack, this is a great way to start. Once you start needing more features or getting heavier bikes, then we have plenty of options available for you. Now, the owner of this vehicle was really excited about their bike rack, and if you have this rack too, we'd love to hear your opinion or your story on it. And that way we can help other people get the best fit for them, their bikes, and their vehicles. But today what you saw was the Hollywood Racks Destination 2 here on a 2024 Subaru Outback. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed this journey.